The boundary's edge. The UES Pathfinder hung in the void like a gleaming arrowhead, its quantum pulse engines dormant as the crew made final preparations. Through the command deck's panoramic viewport, Captain Maya Chen watched the phenomenon that had halted humanity's expansion for nearly 40 years, the barrier. It stretched across space in undulating waves of violet and emerald energy, beautiful and utterly impenetrable. "All systems report ready, Captain," said Commander Victor Okafor, his voice steady despite the tension that had gripped the crew for days. "Quantum shields at maximum capacity. Resonance array calibrated to your specifications." Maya nodded, her eyes never leaving the cosmic curtain ahead. "And our passengers?" "Dr. Reeves is still complaining about the accommodations, but she's secured her equipment. The other scientists are ready." Maya allowed herself a small smile. Dr. Elise Reeves was the foremost xenophysicist in the Solar Alliance and the architect of the resonance theory that had brought them here. Her brilliance was matched only by her abrasive personality. "Tell them we jump in 30 minutes. I want everyone at their stations." As Victor relayed the orders, Maya touched the small pendant at her throat, a habit from childhood that surfaced in moments of doubt. The Pathfinder represented humanity's 7th attempt to breach the barrier. The previous 6 missions had ended in failure or tragedy. 2 ships destroyed outright, 3 returned with systems corrupted beyond repair, and 1, the UES Horizon, had simply vanished. Yet humanity persisted. It was what they did best. The ship's AI, materialized beside her console as a column of blue light. "Captain, I've completed the final scan of the barrier segment. There are fluctuations in the energy pattern that correspond with Dr. Reeves' prediction model." "Do you believe her theory?" Maya asked. The AI paused, an affectation it had developed to signal contemplation. "The mathematics are sound. Whether the barrier is artificial, as she suggests, that remains to be proven." The idea had seemed outlandish when Reeves first proposed it, that the barrier was not a natural phenomenon but a constructed boundary, deliberately placed to separate one section of the galaxy from another. It implied an intelligence and technology far beyond human understanding. Yet after decades of failed attempts to penetrate the energy field through force, Reeves' approach of communication, rather than penetration, had gained traction. Maya's calm chirped, "Captain, it's Reeves. I need to speak with you before we attempt the crossing." "I'm a bit busy, Doctor. This can't wait." With a sigh, Maya nodded to Victor to take the con and headed to the science deck. She found Reeves surrounded by holographic displays, her gray hair pulled back in a severe bun that emphasized her sharp features. "Look at this," Reeves said without preamble, gesturing to one of the displays. "The barrier isn't just responding to our probes, it's analyzing them." Maya studied the data stream. Even with her extensive scientific background, the complexity was daunting. "Explain." "Every time we send a probe, the energy patterns shift slightly, adapting to counter our approach. But the adaptation isn't random, it's learning. And if it's learning, then it's intelligent," Maya finished, "or controlled by something intelligent." Reeves nodded. "My resonance array isn't just about finding the right frequency to pass through. It's about establishing communication." "You never mentioned this part of your theory in the mission briefings." The scientist's eyes gleamed. "Would the Alliance have approved the mission if they knew I intended to talk to an alien intelligence rather than simply break through a cosmic barrier?" Maya felt a flash of anger. "You risked my ship and crew on a hunch." "On the most important discovery in human history," Reeves countered. "Captain, think about it. If I'm right, we're not just finding a way past an obstacle. We're making first contact with something ancient and powerful enough to section off parts of the galaxy." Before Maya could respond, the ship's AI interrupted. "Captain, we're detecting unusual energy fluctuations in the barrier. It appears to be reacting to our presence." Maya hurried back to the command deck with Reeves close behind. The barrier had changed, its colors intensifying, patterns shifting more rapidly. "All stations, report," Maya ordered, sliding into her command chair. "Engineering reports quantum shields holding at 97%, said Lieutenant Santiago from Operations. "But there's something odd. The energy from the barrier seems to be resonating with our shields rather than opposing them." Reeves rushed to a science station, fingers flying across the interface. "It's responding to us. Not attacking. Communicating." "Put us at yellow alert," Maya ordered. "Maintain position, but be ready to execute emergency jump if needed." The barrier's undulations had become more pronounced, pulses of light racing along its surface toward the Pathfinder. "Captain," said the tactical officer, Lieutenant Ameri, her voice tight with concern, "I'm detecting energy buildup directly ahead. Unknown configuration. Shields at maximum." Maya commanded, "Prepare for." The words died in her throat as a section of the barrier directly ahead began to fold inward, creating what appeared to be an opening. A gateway illuminated by swirling energy. "It's inviting us in," whispered Reeves, eyes wide with wonder. Maya gripped the arms of her command chair. "Area. Analysis. The opening appears stable, Captain. Sensors detect space-time beyond the threshold consistent with normal parameters. However, there are energy signatures unlike anything in our database." Maya faced a captain's most difficult decision, whether to retreat to safety or venture into the unknown. The mission parameters were clear: determine if the barrier could be breached. But nothing had prepared them for the barrier opening of its own accord. "Chief Engineer Rodriguez, status of our quantum drive." "Fully operational, Captain. We can make an emergency jump at your command." Maya took a deep breath. "Helm, take us forward. 1/4 impulse. Maintain constant sensor sweep and be prepared to reverse course instantly." The Pathfinder edged toward the opening, its advanced sensors probing the strange phenomenon. As they approached, the gateway expanded slightly, as if adjusting to accommodate the ship. "This confirms it," Reeves said, barely containing her excitement. "The barrier is responding to us intelligently. We're being granted access." The moment the Pathfinder's bow touched the threshold, every system on the ship flickered. The lights dimmed momentarily, and Maya felt a strange sensation, as if time itself had hesitated. Then they were through. The view that greeted them stole the breath from every person on the command deck. They had emerged into a region of space unlike anything recorded in human exploration. Vast structures orbited distant stars, constructions so massive they could only be the work of an advanced civilization. Stellar engineering on a scale humanity had only theorized about. "My God," Victor whispered beside her. "We're not alone." Before Maya could respond, every display on the bridge suddenly activated, showing the same mathematical sequence. Prime numbers, followed by more complex equations. "Captain," Araya announced, "we're receiving a transmission. The language is unknown, but the mathematical basis suggests it's a deliberate attempt at communication." "Can you respond in kind?" Maya asked. "Attempting now." The screen shifted, displaying Araya's mathematical response, the first official communication between humanity and whatever intelligence controlled the barrier. "Sensors detecting multiple vessels approaching," Lieutenant Ameri reported. "Configuration unknown. They're massive." On the view screen, shapes emerged from the darkness, ships that dwarfed the Pathfinder, their designs following physical principles that seemed to bend conventional understanding of engineering. They surrounded the human vessel but maintained distance, neither threatening nor welcoming. "Captain," Araya interrupted, "I've established a rudimentary translation matrix based on the mathematical exchange. I believe I can interpret their next communication." The displays flickered again, and symbols flowed across the screens, gradually resolving into recognizable text. "You are the first to approach willingly. Others fled or attacked. Why have you come?" Maya looked to Reeves, whose face shone with vindication and awe, then back to the message. The fate of humanity's first true contact with an alien intelligence might rest on her response. "Open a channel," she said, straightening in her chair. "Tell them we come seeking knowledge and understanding. We recognize the barrier as a boundary and have approached with respect, not force. Araya translated the message into the mathematical language they had established. The response came almost immediately. Approach accepted. Prepare for integration. Before anyone could react, a beam of light engulfed the bridge, bathing everyone in a golden glow. Maya felt a presence in her mind, gentle but insistent, like a question waiting to be answered. And suddenly she understood. The barrier wasn't just a boundary, it was a test, and humanity had just passed the first stage. The light faded, leaving the crew disoriented but unharmed. On the main view screen, one of the alien vessels had moved closer, extending what appeared to be a docking structure. "Captain," Araya said, "I'm receiving coordinates and what appears to be an invitation." Maya surveyed her bridge crew, seeing in their faces the same mix of fear and wonder she felt herself. They stood at the threshold of something monumental, perhaps the most significant moment in human history since the first steps into space. "Helm, take us in," she ordered. "Let's see what lies beyond the boundary." As the Pathfinder glided toward the alien vessel, Maya knew they had crossed more than just a physical barrier. They had crossed into a new chapter of human existence, one where they were no longer alone in the cosmos. What awaited them would change humanity forever. Beyond understanding, the Pathfinder nestled against the colossal alien vessel, appearing like a minnow beside a whale. Captain Maya Chen led the first contact team through the airlock, each step measured and deliberate. Behind her walked Commander Victor Okafor, Dr. Elise Reeves, Lieutenant Amari, and Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sanjay Patel. All wore standard environmental suits as a precaution, though sensors indicated the atmosphere beyond was compatible with human physiology. "Remember the protocols," Maya reminded them. "No sudden movements, maintain respectful distance unless invited closer, and for God's sake, let ARIA handle the translations before you speak." The inner door cycled open, revealing a vast chamber that defied conventional understanding of space. The walls seemed to shift and flow, colors blending in patterns that suggested both artistic design and functional purpose. The floor beneath them was solid, yet gave slightly with each step, as if adapting to their weight. But it was the beings waiting to greet them that captured their attention. 3 entities stood before them, their forms nebulous and fluid. They appeared humanoid only in the most basic sense, possessing what might be considered heads and limbs, but composed of swirling energy patterns rather than solid matter. Colors pulsed through their forms, suggesting communication or perhaps emotional states. Araya's voice came through their comm units. "Captain, I'm receiving complex mathematical transmissions. The translation matrix is adapting. I believe they're attempting to modify their appearance to make us more comfortable." As if in response, the entity's forms solidified somewhat, becoming more distinctly humanoid, though still clearly alien. The central figure, shimmering with blue and gold patterns, stepped forward. A melodic series of tones filled the chamber, which ARIA promptly translated. "We welcome the Pathfinders. You have crossed the threshold with respect and curiosity. These are qualities we had not expected." Maya stepped forward, careful to maintain what she hoped was a respectful distance. "On behalf of humanity and the Solar Alliance, we thank you for allowing us passage. We come seeking knowledge and peaceful exchange." The translation system converted her words into the mathematical language they had established, and the entity's colors shifted in what might have been acknowledgement. "I am resonance of ancient memory," the entity responded. "This designation is approximate in your understanding. We are the guardians of the threshold, one civilization among many in the Concordance." The Concordance. Dr. Reeves couldn't contain herself, stepping forward eagerly. "A collective of species. How many? How long have you existed?" Maya shot her a warning glance, but the entity seemed unperturbed by the enthusiasm. "The Concordance spans 12,000 civilizations across this galactic sector. We have maintained the threshold for approximately 8 million of your years." The humans exchanged stunned glances. 8 million years of technological civilization. It was almost incomprehensible. Why create the barrier? Maya asked. Why separate yourselves from the rest of the galaxy? Resonance of ancient memory moved closer, its form shifting subtly. Not separation. Protection, both for those beyond and for ourselves. The chamber around them suddenly transformed, the walls becoming a three-dimensional star map of incredible detail. Red points of light appeared throughout the galactic arms beyond the barrier. Across the cosmos, intelligent life follows predictable patterns of development. The entity explained. Technological advancement often outpaces wisdom. We created the threshold to allow species time to mature before encountering the concordance or the great devourers. One section of the map enlarged, showing what appeared to be a star system being systematically dismantled. Planets broken apart, a sun diminishing as its energy was harvested. The great devourers, Victor whispered. Some kind of predatory civilization. Not as you understand life, Resonance replied. They are ancient mechanisms created by a long-vanished species, self-replicating systems that convert all matter to energy for purposes even we do not fully comprehend. The threshold keeps them at bay while allowing developing civilizations the time they need to either reach sufficient advancement or destroy themselves. Maya processed this information, its implications staggering. Then why allow us through? We're clearly not as advanced as the concordance. The entity's colors shifted to deep purple and gold. You are unique. 7 attempts you made to cross the threshold. 6 failures. Yet you persisted. More importantly, your 7th approach was different. Instead of force, you attempted communication. This suggests an evolution of thought uncommon in developing species. Dr. Reeves couldn't contain a smile of satisfaction, which Maya pointedly ignored. Captain, ARI interrupted through their private channel. I'm detecting massive energy fluctuations throughout this sector of space. Something is happening. Before Maya could respond, alarms sounded throughout the alien vessel. The star map disappeared, replaced by real-time tactical displays showing dozens of points of light converging on their position. Impossible. Resonance's translated voice contained what sounded like genuine alarm. The threshold has been breached. The devourers approach. The other entities moved rapidly, their forms blurring as they interfaced with systems throughout the chamber. Data streams flowed around them in complex patterns. How? Maya demanded. If your technology has contained them for millions of years. They have adapted, Resonance replied grimly. Perhaps your passage created a pattern they could exploit. Perhaps mere coincidence. The why matters less than the response. The tactical display showed the approaching threats more clearly now. Machines the size of small moons, their surfaces bristling with technology that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Your vessel must return through the threshold immediately, Resonance instructed. We will seal the breach. Maya felt a chill. And leave you to face this threat alone. The concordance has defended against the devourers for eons. We will survive. But as Maya watched the tactical display, she noticed something the aliens seemed to have missed. A pattern to the devourers' approach. Her years of tactical training highlighted what appeared to be a coordinated assault strategy. They're not just attacking randomly, she said, pointing to the display. They're creating a containment formation. They're learning, adapting, using military tactics. Resonance and the other entities paused, their colors shifting rapidly as they reassessed the data. This is unprecedented, Resonance admitted. They have never displayed coordinated strategic behavior before. Dr. Patel, who had been quietly observing, stepped forward. Perhaps they've been evolving too, just as we have. Adaptation isn't exclusive to biological life. Maya turned to Victor. Contact the Pathfinder. Have them transmit everything we've learned about the barrier's resonance frequencies to these beings. If the devourers adapted to those frequencies to breach the threshold, then perhaps we can help develop a countermeasure, Victor finished, already activating his comm. For the next hour, Human and alien intelligence worked together in a remarkable collaboration. The Pathfinder systems were integrated with the alien vessel's vastly superior technology, while ARIA facilitated communication at a speed no human could match. Dr. Reeves worked directly with Resonance, applying her theoretical framework in ways she had never imagined possible. The Devourers have indeed adapted to the specific resonance pattern of the threshold. Resonance confirmed. Your approach, using variable frequency modulation rather than static barriers, may prove effective. Maya watched as the Concordants implemented the strategy developed through their collaboration. The threshold energy shifted, no longer a static barrier but a pulsing, ever-changing field that adapted as rapidly as the Devourers themselves. One by one, the approaching threats slowed, their systems unable to keep pace with the constant changes in the defensive field. Several of the machine entities attempted to breach the new defenses, only to become trapped in the fluctuating energy patterns. "It's working," Victor said, watching the tactical display with growing hope. "They can't adapt quickly enough to the random pattern shifts." Resonance's colors brightened. "This approach, it is unlike our methods. We have relied on perfect, immutable systems for millions of years. The concept of deliberate randomness as a defense. Sometimes imperfection is an advantage," Maya said with a small smile. "Chaos and unpredictability can be powerful tools." As the immediate threat subsided, Resonance led the human delegation deeper into the alien vessel. They passed through chambers of increasing wonder, living architecture that responded to thought, energy forms that might have been other species of the Concordants, and technology so advanced it appeared as simple elegance rather than complex machinery. Finally, they reached what appeared to be a council chamber, where dozens of diverse entities awaited, some vaguely humanoid, others utterly alien in form. All pulsed with the same energy that constituted Resonance. "The Council of Harmonies wishes to extend gratitude," Resonance announced. "Your species' unique perspective has provided a solution where our own thinking could not." Maya bowed slightly. "We're honored to have helped. Humanity has always believed that diversity of thought leads to stronger solutions." Indeed, a new entity moved forward, its form more complex than Resonance's. "I am First Song of Creation, Elder of the Concordants. We have observed many species across the eons, but few have demonstrated your particular combination of traits: persistence despite failure, creativity in approach, and willingness to cooperate rather than dominate." Dr. Reeves could barely contain herself. "Does this mean we might be permitted to learn from the Concordants? The scientific and cultural exchange would be invaluable." First Song's colors shifted in what Araya translated as amusement. "More than permitted, Dr. Reeves. We wish to invite humanity to join the Concordants as its newest member." The humans exchanged shocked glances. "But we're technologically primitive compared to you," Victor pointed out. "What could we possibly offer a collective of civilizations millions of years our senior?" "Perspective," Resonance answered. "Fresh thinking. The very qualities that helped defeat the Devourers today. Many concordant civilizations have existed so long they have become static in their thinking. Your species' adaptability and creative approach to problems represents a valuable addition." Maya considered the implications. "This would mean revealing your existence to all of humanity. Are you prepared for that?" "We are," First Song confirmed. "The threshold will remain, but modified to allow controlled passage. Your species has earned the right to grow alongside us rather than in isolation." As the negotiations continued, Maya found a moment to stand apart, gazing through a viewport at the stars beyond. Stars that now represented not just distant lights, but homes to thousands of civilizations, each with their own history, culture, and knowledge. Resonance approached, its form shimmering with curiosity. "You seem contemplative, Captain Chen." "I'm thinking about what this means for humanity," she admitted. "In a single day, we've gone from wondering if we're alone in the universe to being invited into a community of 12,000 civilizations. It's overwhelming." "Change often is," Resonance agreed. "But consider this. Of all the species we have observed over millions of years, yours is among the few that approach the unknown with both caution and wonder rather than fear or aggression. When faced with the incomprehensible, you sought to understand rather than conquer. These qualities are rare and precious. Maya nodded slowly. So what happens now? Now, Resonance's colors shifted to warm gold and blue. We begin the true exchange. Your people will share your unique perspective and creativity. We will share knowledge accumulated over eons. Together, we will face threats like the Devourers with combined strength. As Maya rejoined her crew, she saw in their faces the same mixture of awe and excitement she felt herself. They had crossed the barrier expecting to find new stars and planets. Instead, they had found a new future for humanity, one where they were not alone in the cosmic darkness, but part of something greater. The Pathfinder would return home carrying news that would forever change human history. Earth would look to the stars with new understanding, knowing that beyond the barrier lay not just distant suns but waiting friends. And Maya Chen, the captain who had led humanity across the threshold, knew that this was only the beginning. The true crossing, from isolation to connection, from solitary wanderers to members of a cosmic community, was just beginning. Beyond the boundary lay infinity, and humanity was ready to embrace it.